in the name of the late and great Charlie Kirk. They have been Turning Point USA event throughout the country for a while, and yesterday there was a terrorist attack at one of them. At UC Berkeley, a communist breeding ground college, quote unquote, they had a nice event of different people coming together to, you know, talk about America, talk about Charlie Kirk, and there was a terrorist attack, and they beat the hell out of a couple of them, and it was absolutely brutal and diabolical. And I'm going to take this moment to absolutely not stop talking about how Trump and the administration needs to cook way harder. All these people need to be in jail. If Antifa is a designated terrorist organization, they should be getting arrested like the Jan 6ers were getting arrested by the Democrats. All right? That you should be showing up to their houses and dragging them into CCOT. All right? I don't care. They need to go. They're terrorists, right? So, anyway, we have to talk about what's going on because it's insane. So, the protester, his name was Jihad, charged with assault and robbery after brawl at the Turning Point USA rally. Right, so this is a man named Mr. Jihad, again, who decided to commit a terrorist attack and beat the crap out of just random American guys. Like, first of all, dude, we should immediately deport every man named Jihad. You might say that that's racist. My response to that is, I don't fucking care. Jihad, the ones you least expect. You let the orcs into the Shire. Jihads have to go. Every one of them needs to go. All right? If you name your son Holy War and you put him into America, with all due respect, you have to be deported. All right? I'm just saying. Calling a brawl a terrorist attack is overboard. Oh, well then keep watching. So this is the guy that was they beat the crap out of this guy wearing the freedom shirt. We are all Charlie Kirk. God bless him. And that's true. All right? That is actually true. We are all Charlie Kirk at this point. And they would kill any one of us. Every single one of us. And, you know, the reason why Islam is particularly upset at Charlie Kirk is just Charlie Kirk was notoriously anti-Islam. That was one of his main points, is that he was anti-Islam. Now, the crazy thing is, if you actually look at Charlie Kirk's posts about Islam, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Like, for example, look at this tweet. I'm just picking one out by coincidence. Jews, 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 Jews. Every single time. Every single time. But if you go to the last Charlie Kirk post, right, so this is his actual Twitter. At this point, it's just used to show broadcasts. But if you go to, like, literally the last day, this was the last day that he was alive, where he was posting about Irina Zarutska getting stabbed. It's shocking, man. I'm just trying to find this tweet. Yeah, I can't find this tweet. Hold up. I will find it. He made this tweet. Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. And if you look at the responses, it's all just Muslims thrilled that this man was murdered. Every soul will taste death, right? It's just the irony in this, right? Everyone just dancing on his grave. Yep. How's your throat doing? It's pretty diabolical, honestly. And now you have people showing up named Jihad showing up at Turning Point events to beat the crap out of people. Could we admit we have a problem yet? This is just a simple man named Jihad. All right, this is just a simple man named Mr. Jihad, and he's just going out and doing his thing. Insane, bro, insane. Charlie Kirk tweeted in 2017, it's not a protest at UC Berkeley, it's a violent riot. How correct you were. Time is a circle, man. How utterly correct you were, sir. Dude, I miss this man so much, it's crazy. So this is what went down, actually, in UC Berkeley. All right, I got the info, I got the news, because the news reports it as overwhelmingly peaceful. I'm not even joking. That's how the media is reporting on this.
Break it up! Police, break it! Police, break it up! Hey, white boy, break it up!
Did you hear what this guy was saying? Pay attention.
Break it up! Police, break it up!
Listen to what this guy's yelling. Hey, white boy!
White boy, break it up! Hey, white boy, you're bleeding, white boy! Hey, white boy, break it up! What happened? White boy?
Relax. Right, so the police break up this brawl, and everyone's screaming, hey, white boy, hey, white boy.
Relax.
They hate you. Did you notice yet? Did you notice that they hate you? Did you notice that they want you to die?
What happened, white boy? Hey, white boy, what happened?
That guy tried to rob me. Okay.
You guys step back, please. You guys can film, but just...
Hey, you got cracked up.
Mostly peaceful, Mr. Jihad.
Hey, white boy,
Do you want to tell us what happened?
So that's basically what happened. Mr. Jihad beat the shit out of a random white guy. People in the crowd were all cheering and jeering, hey white boy, hey white boy. Mr. Jihad was trying to hide his face because while he's all on board with beating the shit out of random people, he doesn't actually want to be filmed beating the shit out of random people. You see, this is a classic examples of all cultures are actually equal. There are no inferior cultures, especially not people that name their son Mr. Jihad. All right, so this is what went down. All right, you have to see, it's insane. So here you have the radical retards. All right, obviously, sure. This dude robbed him. He went back to try to get the stuff, and well, he just punched him in the face 100 times. So that's basically what went down. Far leftist stole a conservative man's necklace and then punched him repeatedly in the face when he tried to take it back outside of a Turning Point event. That's basically what happened. Yep, insane. Like, dude, it's dangerous to walk around, you know, wearing a cross or a MAGA hat or freedom shirt, or to be honest, the Star of David or a kippah. Like, bro, like, it's very obvious that the radical jihads, they want to kill you. It's super obvious, actually. It is a holy war to these guys. Like, it really is. Mr. Jihad does see this as a holy war. All right, and it says in the Quran to kill all the Jews and Christians. It's almost like they're literally following the rule book. Right, it's almost like they're literally following the rule book. So this guy is, watch him get attacked from this angle.
Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Chingala migra! Chingala migra! Chingala migra! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you!
Look at all these zombies. He's just standing there with a freedom shirt, right? Wearing the shirt of a man that they murdered and cheered on his murder.
Talk about kidnapping.
Just take away.
Why are they kidnapping?
Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE!
Like, you watch this and you're like, it's so obvious who the good guy is, you know? Right? It is so obvious who the good guy is.
We're gonna start our first speech of the night.
Stop the deportation!
There are no kidnappings, by the way. There are no kidnappings. That's not a real thing.
We're queer!
The first of the night. I'll let the weapon.
We're queer, we're trans, we're on stolen land. And then you have this dude out there preaching the gospel, right? And I'm just gonna skip forward a little bit to the actual moment. Here you have, like, this is a jihadi. What are we talking about? Look at these people. Well, bro, I'm telling you, man, UC Berkeley, it's just an actual terrorist breeding ground. It's insane. So this dude goes and vandalizes his property, right? He throws the shirts all over the ground.
That's exactly what they want.
And then he attacks him. What was that? It is absolute insanity that we need to do this. It is absolute insanity. We're on stolen land. Anyway, here's this white man, this Native American named Jihad who belongs here. Like, bro, this is insane. So, and then they attack this poor guy for no reason. For standing there, for being present. They're doing the same thing, for the record, in England. Like, if you wear, they just arrested a guy in England. Like, dude, this is the classic fascism, man. This is like the actual fascism. They arrested somebody in England for being Jewish near a Palestine protest. For being Jewish. You heard correctly. For being Jewish near a Palestine protest, and they arrested that guy. Now, you probably think that this is a story from a couple of months ago that I told, but no, this actually just happened again, yesterday, actually.
So you stand in the street and they arrested you for that? Just for standing in the street. They asked me if I was part of a protest. I said no.
Remember, you've been cautioned and trying to say maybe giving them.
I've not broken any laws.
They just arrest this random Jewish girl because she's, you know, antagonizing people. So anyway, this is a leftist account, the Black Tucker Carlson, all right, leftist account. Charlie Kirk gets dropped by Antifa during TPUSA event. Laughing. Bro, these people want to kill you. They want you dead. It's crazy how obvious it is. Like, here's Antifa at this same UC Berkeley event. Listen to their chants, man.
Dead, homie, fuck, you're dead, homie, fuck, you're dead, homie, fuck, you're dead, homie.
They're just fuck your dead homie. They're screaming at the top of their lungs. Like, bro, after they murder Charlie Kirk, they celebrate his death, and they continue to celebrate his death. And we cannot let this shit divide us, man. These are morally abhorrent, bankrupt, satanic, demonic individuals. They really are. That are all pre-diabetic. And to be honest, and I'll be real, Trump needs to crack down 1,000 times harder. 1,000 times harder. People call him a fascist. Oh, he should give them something real to complain about. Right now, they're complaining about nothing. And it's working, because Trump is not going nearly as hard as he should. All these people that are literally part of Antifa, all right, and a terrorist organization, should get blasted. All right, this is UC Berkeley, once again. Right, punch a fascist in the face. And also, he calls everyone a fascist. Dude, looking at them with the keffiyehs, the headscarves, like, bro, this is an actual insurrection that's happening right now that no one is even caring about. It's insane. $1.4 billion. That's how much state and federal taxpayer money goes to UC Berkeley every year. What an actual nightmare. This is Gotham, bro. This is some communist shit. These people need to go away. Away. Dude, never forget. They want you dead. Never forget. Now, this is the man, a far-left Muslim extremist who beat up a USA attendee after robbing him, was named a guy named Jihad Difrolov. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but this here is Mr. Jihad. This is the 25-year-old listed as this guy as his employer. That's right, CAP Public Health. Public Health from California. The California Public Health Department was the employer of Mr. Jihad over here. Dude, it's insane, and we're not doing anything about this. We're really not. And there it is. Mr. Jihad, allegedly, we saw it on camera, snatched a cross necklace from an attendee. He tried to get it back, and then he beat the hell out of him. That's Mr. Jihad, ladies and gentlemen. This guy over here, just another instance of right-wing violence. A straight white male, just another straight white male that's committing acts of violence. Classic, am I right? So, let's see what's going on here.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization.
Right.
An Antifa.
Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
Organization. It is in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys.
Things like Antifa are things that are thought of.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization.
There's no such thing as Antifa.
Member of Antifa because it doesn't.
It's just an ideology. They're just anti-fascists.
Calling into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media, but it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that.
It's just discussion boards on 4chan. It's not like there's an organized group of these people that are attacking us or anything. Yep, nothing to see here. So not only, in my opinion, does UC Berkeley need to be defunded, but also we need to round up every single person that's at Antifa protests, because Antifa is a terrorist organization, and if you're a part of a terrorist organization, you go to jail. And I think that people need to actually start doing this shit. It's insane. It's insane watching how cowardly the administration is. Like, people are like, he's a fascist, bro. Trump, they're calling you a fascist anyway. Start getting fucking draconian on their asses. Like, what are we doing? Now, this is what actually happened at the Turning Point event. Now, despite the fact that Antifa was beating people up and attacking them, this is what actually happened. People don't realize the extent of the impact that Charlie Kirk had on the people. And that's why I think it's like, I think, in my opinion, no one did what Charlie Kirk did in regards to bringing God into the public discussion like Charlie Kirk did. No one in hundreds of years, probably. Like, this is unbelievable. It really is. And look at all this violence. Look at all these fascists, guys. Look at all these fascists doing violent things. Now, you have to see the way this was covered, first on Fox News and then on CNN.
All right, Andrew, so what happened last night?
Well, Jesse, it seems like it was a coordinated attack on a peaceful event, and you can't make this stuff up, as you said in your lead up, that they say in their flyers that we're inciting violence just by being on campus and hosting an event with Rob Schneider, a comedian, an actor.
That's the craziest part. It's like, the most insane thing is, just by existing as a right-wing guy, you are inciting violence, and therefore they have the right to kill you. But if you're a left-wing guy and you're literally murdering people, it's mostly peaceful.
And the irony is just so rich because they say that our words are violence, but their actual violence is mostly peaceful. And so they cordoned off, the university put the free speech plaza right in front of the entrance. So, of course, all chaos broke out, and we were funneled into one entryway into this venue. And it took for that car backfire before the cops actually got into gear and actively engaged the crowd, these agitators, these far-left Antifa thugs. It took that because people thought it was an actual gun going off or a bomb exploding, and people started scattering, Jesse. So this was an absolute coordinated attack to disrupt the event, and thank goodness they failed.
I mean, do you think that any of the local officials purposely made it difficult, made it a little bit more dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, I do actually. I want to be careful with what I say, but I will tell you 2 weeks before the event, we had to switch to the university's ticketing system. Oh, yeah. And so what happens when you do that is it opens it up for far left agitators and protesters, disruptors to grab those tickets. And so what we had happen is that there was about 500.
Nah, dude, that is absolutely done on purpose to destroy them. Like, there's no way. That is absolutely malicious.
Tickets of people that didn't show up, and that's their whole game. They want to grab the tickets and then leave it empty to make it look like we don't have a big growing movement in the wake of Charlie's assassination. And the truth is, thousands of people were not able to get into this event because either their tickets didn't work, they got scared away, or harassed and attacked and had to flee the scene. And the university's response was, it's not our job to fill your event. Well, we filled it anyways, but there was thousands more that wanted to be there and were unable to make it because of the shenanigans with the ticketing system. And we've had that at other universities. It's actually become a common ploy of, I think, left-wingers within the admins that want to disrupt our event, that don't want us to be there. Well, we've got news for them. We're not stopping.
How about this?
It's crazy to even think about. It's actually crazy to even think about, dude. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, they're literally scamming people on every level. All right, they with limited tickets and supply like that, and physical tickets so that agitators could actually steal the tickets so that people can't get it, with no voter ID and voting machines that all break. And it's like, dude, they are rigging the system on every step of the way. Like, it's not fair. Like, people talk about how you need to be principled and stuff, but it's like, you are playing by the rules and they are not. You can't win when only one side is playing by the rules. Like, the next time the left comes into power, and it's inevitable, if there isn't enough change, the next leftoid to come into power will round up and jail everyone that they considered a Nazi and a fascist. All right, you don't understand what we're dealing with here. You don't understand what we're dealing with here. Like, this is the fight for the future of America. And people, in my opinion, are working way too hard to not talk about the actual issue.
This guy, Jihad. Can you believe this guy's name is Jihad? What was he trying to, he was trying to snap.
Last time a guy named Jihad was in the news, he was in England and he stabbed 2 Jewish men in a synagogue, and he just murdered them in England. A guy named Jihad. That's the last time I heard of a guy named Jihad.
Catch that guy's, what, his cross off his neck?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do. This was a peaceful guy. We have video from well before this altercation took place. He was just out there with his Red Freedom shirts, and he kept saying, Jesus is Lord, Jesus is Lord. And they were agitating, they were attacking him, jeering, and he just remained peaceful until Jihad came up, grabbed his cross off his neck, and that poor gentleman went to go collect it, and the guy started attacking and assaulting him. And to his credit, he kept going. He wanted his cross back before the police. They obviously didn't know who started or what was going on. Both of them got cuffed, but ultimately it was Jihad that is getting arrested, and he's getting charged. Thankfully.
I mean, to be fair, you have no idea what this will do to Zohran Mamdani's aunt in the long run. People aren't willing to acknowledge the fact that Zohran Mamdani's aunt will face extra Islamophobia because of people named Jihad. Now, let me talk to you about UC Berkeley. All right, now this is from 2017, all right?
Don't tell me that. Yes.
This is a black student, I think, yelling at a white teacher.
Understand your privilege. Understand your privilege. Understand your privilege. Do not tell me that because
they're saying check your privilege to their professor.
Thursday, you're going to see people that I've worked with, that I was very close with, from these communities.
You can work with as many people as you want. At the end of the day, you're not a your wife.
At the end of the day, you're a white person, says the student lecturing the professor. Yeah, so anyway, like, this is the shit that the brain rot that this place is churning out. It's an actual propaganda breeding hole. It's insane. So anyway, the White House treated Antifa as a terrorist organization, and I completely agree with this take.
About rioters and violence, Antifa, and of course the media looking the other way. Video journalist Nick Sorter. Nick, thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you continuing to shine a light on this story. When you see the legacy media in places like San Francisco, you just showed this local media outlet trying to use that mostly peaceful line again. Apparently they didn't learn from 2020 when they that meme that's been going around for years now, that it's a real photo of a CNN journalist standing in front of a burning building calling that mostly peaceful. I mean, would they also call the assassination of Charlie Kirk mostly peaceful? Was that a mostly peaceful event? There was only one person killed there. So I guess, you know, with thousands of people in the crowd, they weren't killed. So I guess that means mostly peaceful. Where is the line? How many people need to be killed for it to be actually broadcasted by the media as a violent event?
Yeah, and meanwhile, they go nuts if an illegal alien is being arrested, right? Illegal alien is using a child, grabbing him from the back seat of the car and trying to use that kid as a human shield and then faking a seizure. But they covered that extensively, right? Because it fits their narrative. Pam Bondi is investigating this. Attorney General Harmeet Dillon is also investigating what happened at UC Berkeley. She talked about this. She posted on Twitter, "I sued UC Berkeley in 2017 for a student group after the school refused to allow conservative speakers to speak on campus, citing security, and refused to protect them. They settled the lawsuit after it survived a motion to dismiss. I have questions." You just heard, Nick, that student, that's a motion to dismiss. I have questions. You just heard, Nick, that student, that he says this is...
They sued the college because they let a conservative speak. Unreal.
Talked about since the Trump 45 administration, and not enough is being done about it.
Agreed.
We have to get serious.
I agreed.
I mean, I've been dealing with this for weeks out in Portland, right? Where the police will arrest conservatives like myself just for, you know, existing, essentially. You know, even the district attorney was saying that I never should have been arrested out there. And the reason they do that is because they're either infiltrated by Antifa themselves, or they're afraid of Antifa. Either way, the federal government needs to step in and do something about it.
I agree.
We've gotten to the...
Like, dude, we actually have, like, terrorist blood feuds in our streets, and no one's doing anything about it.
But these people have gotten away with it for far too long, and they feel immune. They feel like there's no reason for them to be afraid of the police or the local governments out there. So it's up to the federal government at this point to put its foot down, pull the funding.
Agreed.
And trust me, you start pulling funding from these universities, they're going to shape up quickly.
Yeah, before I let you go, I want to bring this to light. Berkeley Chief of Police Uganda...
No spoilers. I don't want to spoil that. That's an epic twist in this story later. All right, I prepared. This is an epic twist I don't want to spoil. Wait until you hear about the actual chief from Berkeley. This is what Charlie Kirk said, and I wanted to play this clip.
All right, you know how it works. You come up, you could disagree, front of the line. We're going to have a lot of fun today. You disagree, go to the front of the line. We'll have a great chat. Guys, we are a predominant conservative audience here. When a contrarian person comes up to the microphone, give them the respect that the left does not always give you. Let's not squawk or interrupt. Please give this individual the opportunity to speak. You guys know how it works. You disagree, you can go to the line. We'll have a great conversation here. If you disagree, you go to the front of the line.
Is that not, like, an insane contrast, bro? I think the contrast is insane. It really is the party of it's the team civilization versus team anarchy. That's kind of what we're looking at. People based and rooted in biblical values that actually value human life. And then you have the people that serve and worship demons, murder their own children, and obviously do not value human life. It's insane. It's insane. Now you have to see the way legacy media talked about this. So this is CBS News, and it's insane.
Here in the Bay Area, it comes just 2 months after the killing of Turning Point's founder, Charlie Kirk,
assassination,
who was supposed to headline tonight's event. Our Amanda Harry is live on the scene there, where protesters also showed up. We've already actually seen at least one fight break out. Amanda.
Yeah, things have been lively here. While that Turning Point USA event is still happening inside, protesters have been out here for hours. You can see them still here behind me.
Imagine trying to live and you have this infinite mob of retards harassing you every day of your life for existing. It's crazy. It's radicalizing and it's crazy. And again, I get it. I get the feeling. Like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. The amount of shit you get, like, just for being a regular guy.
They have been chanting, just a very, very lively scene out here. While things have been mostly peaceful, there have been some...
Dude, I can tell you, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've had, like, a car driving by me, like, in America. I'm talking about in America, all right? Not in Uzbekistan or England or one of those other Muslim countries. Like, in America, like, I'd just be standing there and the car would stop and the guy would, you know, stick his head out and say, "Fuck the Jews, free Palestine," and just drive away. This happened to me, not exaggerating, at least 10 times. To me, personally. Like, like, you know, like, it's insane. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, and again, this is just, if you're a regular guy, these people will try to make your life hell.
Tense moments. Earlier this evening, there was a scuffle that broke out where two men started fighting. UC Berkeley police had to break up that interaction. Later, someone was throwing smoke bombs and a car backfired, leading some of the people who were protesting to run away. The protest was put together.
All right, explosions, smoke bombs, fireworks, assaults, robbery.
By students organizing for liberation. Some students say they don't believe UC Berkeley should host a large Turning Point USA event like this one, but other people are happy to be here for the event.
Bro, freedom of speech. Why can't they have this event? Like, dude, you murdered Charlie Kirk and said that was freedom of speech. Like, what are we talking about?
Turning Point USA should not be here, and they are like a fascist organization.
Turning Point is a fascist organization. It's just a bunch of, like, college-age kids getting together talking about America. Like, bro, the holy nose ring, Batman. Like, this septum piercing thing is real.
And nobody here agrees with what they are saying. And
so what? So they're not allowed to say it? So what? Should you kill them for saying it? Is that your opinion? Someone says something you don't agree with, you should murder them? Should you shoot them in the neck and then celebrate their murder for the next few months or years? Is that the goal? The answer to these questions is obviously yes. Yes, the answer to this question is obviously yes. They want you dead. Yeah, correct.
Obviously, Charlie Kirk has been a big issue with, like, a lot of college campuses and people on college campuses, so...
Issue? He just went and talked to people. Well, what's the issue? Freedom of speech is, like, pretty basic amendment of the United States, right? It's kind of the First Amendment, some would even say.
We just think, like, I mean, obviously, I didn't really follow him a lot, but knowing what he did and knowing the things that he was saying...
What did he do? Can you name a thing that he did? Well, what did he do? He talked to people. He got married. He preached the gospel, all right? He got married, he had kids, and you killed him. You murdered him for it, because he was effective.
Just, like, vile and disgusting, so...
Yeah, I don't think she should have the right to vote, personally.
We don't want to support his organization, and...
Okay, you don't have to support it. Why are you harassing people and contributing to a terrorist mob?
And I don't think that the Berkeley chancellor should have let them come here.
I love being involved in politics, something that's always interested me. I'm very conservative, and Charlie was a great influence on my life, just, you know, how to live as a man and a godly man. So when I heard that they were bringing a TPU here, I was like, heck yeah.
CBS Bay Area did confirm that 4 students were arrested earlier today on suspicion of felony vandalism. We do have a lot of police officers still out here watching this event, keeping a close eye on everything that is happening here. We'll have the latest for you at 11.
All right, Amanda Harry, live at UC Berkeley. Amanda, thank you. Let's get to some breaking news now.
So, yeah, so this is them saying that it's mostly peaceful, right? Mostly peaceful. They're literally still pulling that same shtick every single time. Every single time. Oh, my God. Bro, and these people have a right to vote. It's insane. So anyway, even John Fetterman, who is a Democrat senator, he started blasting the left about this.
You said, quote, "I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left."
This is from a leftist senator, for the record, that it's the left that is the violent, poisonous party.
That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
Yeah, no, you know, it's just been my personal experience on this thing.
For the record, as a Jewish guy, I get shit from the far right and the far left, obviously. All right, I got the radical Islamic type of, you know, fuck the Jews mentality from the far left. And I get the, you know, the radical, you know, far right, Hitler was actually correct kind of shit from the far right. You cannot even compare the two. They are not even remotely similar. You literally cannot compare the two. The left is a million times worse. It's not even close. It's not even close. I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. A guy named Jihad would kill me way before one of these Groypers, one of these pro-Hitler guys. Like, these guys are edgelords to the extreme, but the fucking far leftists would actually kill me and celebrate my death. Like, this is insane.
And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms, really what's kind of the harshest, what's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, oh, blue sky, it's blue sky. And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names, some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you.
Yeah, people on the far right will be like, you're a cuck, you're a shill. And then people on the far left are like literally trying to kill you in the street.
They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they said that, I remember one, they claimed, oh, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life? Just really, like, I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die, literally cheering for a stroke.
Here's the thing, like, this is an unconscionable action, and this will push people away from the left, obviously, but this is a leftist senator. Do you realize how insane it is? This is a leftist senator being like, I agree, I guess, with leftist social policy or fiscal policy, but every time I veer away from them, they literally want me dead. What's going on?
I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. That's much different than just calling me a name, that's really been consistent, in that community online.
This is crazy, by the way. It's actually insane. It's wild. So this dude went on CNN to talk about how the left is actually the violent bitch party. It's insane. And so anyway, we have to do, the Department of Justice has talked about finally looking into this Turning Point USA attack to potentially arrest a lot of these assholes.
Well, it's fantastic to have you on the show tonight. Thank you for joining us. UC Berkeley has condemned the violence, promises to take appropriate measures against those who violated campus rules. But
violated the rules by beating the shit out of innocent people.
Thanks for having me so much. It's a pleasure to be here. This feels to me like deja vu all over again. True. I think it was like 8 years ago that I came on your show and talked about suing UC Berkeley for exactly this type of violent chaos that happened on the campus. And at that time, Berkeley was preventing conservative groups from having conservative speakers and then exposing them if anyone ever came.
You mean they would literally put targets on the back end conservatives so that their communist jihadist students can murder them?
Of conservative speakers, and yet here we are. They seem, as Savannah mentioned, to be completely unprepared. The Berkeley, local police as well seem to be unprepared, undermanned. They treat it as if it's a both sides problem.
Correct.
It is not a both sides problem. When a violent mob like Antifa comes and attacks like this, it's what we call a heckler's veto in First Amendment jurisprudence. And given the fact that there has now been a terrorist designation here, the Joint Terrorism Task Force is going to be looking into this together with the DOJ, my Civil Rights Division, and
get
the
them away,
FBI, and understand what happened here. How did it come to be the case that when Berkeley has noticed that this type of violence occurs on the campus, when conservative speakers come to speak, and by Rob Schneider had been scheduled to speak, it was a sold-out crowd of 2,000 people, and less than 1,000 people were there in the stadium because people were intimidated by this violence. So this is not a consequence-free situation. Berkeley is.
You know why Berkeley does it? It's because Berkeley is an institution that wants you dead. That's why. It's because they want you dead. In my opinion, they directly want this mob to kill as many of you as they can. Because you see, this is the communist revolution. The communist revolution is straight up killing your opponents. Because that's how communist revolutions work. How are you going to get billions from the rich guy worth billions? He's not going to give it to you. You have to fight him for it. That is what they want. So of course, they want as many of you dead as possible. They're trying to steal votes by importing illegals and promising them free shit. And then it's classic. Nothing surprising here.
Announced, oh, we're so happy that 1,000 people came to hear this. That is not the whole story. The story is that when Sonia Sotomayor comes to speak, when the Dalai Lama comes to speak, the Berkeley campus somehow is able to protect the speaker and all of the people who attend and when it's a conservative speaker, it isn't. So we have some serious questions and concerns about this, and there'll be a full federal investigation. We've already sent 2 letters to
start,
Berkeley
but
and
I think
to the police to preserve.
You need to cast a wide net. You designated Antifa as a terrorist organization, okay? Then every single one that joined this Antifa riot needs to go to jail. All of them, every single one. And you know what? Maybe there won't be another riot next time. In my opinion, that's what needs to happen. All right, and someone in my chat just said, how do we fight back? Well, not with violence. All right, so first of all, in my opinion, you pray to God. All right, God has a plan, obviously, he knows what he's doing. However, so that's step 1. Step 2 is you make your voice incredibly known that you want biblical level punishment here. All right, you want Old Testament justice. Okay? You know what I am saying? You obliterate these frauds. Absolutely. Legally. 100% legally. All right? Without a doubt. But you cast a wide net and you throw these people in the slammer for being part of a terrorist organization. And the government is like literally, in my opinion, playing with kid gloves because they don't want to get criticism for this. And they should, honestly, they would get so much more respect from the right if they actually stood up and were like, yeah, we're not dealing with this anymore. We don't need to live like this. Fuck these people. Now, Nux, we need violence. So we need legal violence. All right, legal violence. Police arresting them? Absolutely. Self-defense? Absolutely. Do not fear to protect yourself. But no, only legal. All right, we are not like them. All right, we are not like them. We are the side of order. They are the side of chaos.
Came to this horrific situation to make sure it never happens again.
So what particular, Harmeet, what particular statutes are potentially triggered here? The terrorist designation for Antifa. But is it this? So this would be a civil rights, could be a civil rights conspiracy action? Conspiracy to violate civil rights?
Absolutely. It could be 18241, 242. We also have hate crime statutes that apply. I believe that some of the epithets that were hurled at some of the members of the crowd made reference to their race and to other protected characteristics under the law.
They said, get that white boy, get that white boy.
So we will be obviously looking at...
Oh, damn, they're going to hit jihad for hate crimes, anti-white hate crimes? I support that.
Aspects of this, but the obvious version here is, oh my gosh, it's Antifa attacking people. But I also have concerns about UC Berkeley's history of not protecting conservative speakers on the campus, and I also have concerns
they want you dead.
As the top civil rights.
I wish the actual mainstream, even the right-wing mainstream, I wish they'd wake the fuck up and realize what's happening. Like, I mean, I think they know what's happening. They're just scared to say it out loud. Like, dude, they're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill us and steal the country and turn it into a fucking Uganda cesspit. All right, you got to work this out, man.
About UC Berkeley's history of not protecting conservative speakers on the campus, and I also have concerns as the top civil rights lawyer in the United States about whether the Berkeley police are doing their job under the law to protect citizens equally. That's an equal protection concern, Laura. It's the type of thing that we do bring in the Civil Rights Division, and we are going to be looking at that very seriously here in this case.
Everyone's always looking at things, and unfortunately not enough gets done for me to be excited about it. We need to make it really clear that this is what we're fighting for. Right, so you look at CNN, bro. You look at CNN. It's insane. Insane. So this is her going on to CNN. Before I wanted to show you her going on to Fox News. Now I wanted to show you her going on CNN, because it's a very different story.
Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon joins me now from Washington. Harmeet, thanks for being with us. Why the investigation?
Well, look, when I saw this video online...
Listen to the question. Why the investigation? Is that not crazy?
I felt like I had flashbacks, or it was Groundhog Day, because UC Berkeley has a long history of allowing violent protesters to disrupt conservative speakers on the campus. In fact, in 2017, I actually got involved in a legal dispute where I was the lawyer suing UC Berkeley over very similar scenes. There was a series of 3 conservative speakers who wanted to speak on the campus, and the campus police and the broader Berkeley police stood by and allowed American citizens coming to see an event on an American public campus get violently assaulted, and the event never happened. And that's what we see here in this event. There was a sold-out crowd of over 2,000 tickets for this event with Rob Schneider, the comedian. And in fact, only 1,000 people were allowed to enter. There were shenanigans with the ticketing, but a lot of people didn't come because of what we call the heckler's veto. The violent mob allowed to fester outside. And this is not protest. I respect protest. What we have here is a terrorist organization allowed to run wild in an American...
So jail them! You're talking a big game. Jail them. Get it going. You know, you have Palantir and all your other fucking evil super weapons. Figure out who every single person in this crowd was and throw them in jail.
City on an American campus funded by taxpayers. It's illegal, and we won't let it stand at the Department of Justice.
Right, and literally, all right, so that means that the actual university was sitting there, you know, corroborating and working and with terrorist organization. Get rid of them too. Like literally, we have to actually start doing things, because if we don't do things, nothing will happen. Nothing happens unless things happen.
Protected by our freedom of speech, but as you can see and everyone can see on these videos, this isn't protest. This has crossed the line into violence, and we see the violence of flares that were being lit, of people that were being beaten bloody, of chains and bicycles that were attacked, people who were harassed, had things thrown at them. This isn't protest. That's protected by the First Amendment, and of course Charlie not only supported it, Charlie was one of the biggest exercisers of it. His whole tour was debate me, so if you wanted to disagree with him, he would invite you to the very front and give you a microphone. But this isn't protest. This was direct, coordinated network violence. And you see elements of various extreme ideologies. You see the furry ideology was on scene there. That was something that would have been directly tied to one of the associates of Charlie's accused murderers.
Oh, the furry ideology! Bro!
A lot we see here, but protest? No, this isn't protest. This is clearly violence, and it was an attack on all of our freedom of speech.
Yeah, so I completely agree with him, actually, and these people need to get obliterated. Things only happen when things happen. Very insightful, Nux. But it's true! You make fun of me, but I'm right, okay? All right, you can make fun of me, but you can't call me wrong. Things only happen when things happen, all right? Everyone sit out there and be like, oh, the terrorists, you don't do anything? What are you doing? All right, so first things first, why the fuck isn't Trump revoking all federal funds to these schools? Like, these schools are actual propaganda breeding shitholes. All right, come on, dude. Furries are on the scales of terrorists? Yeah, well, a lot of these terrorists are furries. This is Charlie Kirk talking about Turning Point USA at UC Berkeley. All right, this was UC Berkeley a few years ago. This was Charlie Kirk talking about it back then.
Oh, shit.
Just blasted a guy in the face for no reason. And that's insane. This is the violent left. Charlie was right. Again, as he tends to have been a lot. UC Berkeley released a statement on the political hate crime assault of one of our TPUSA activists. Berkeley condemns in the strongest language the violence, asks for assistance in identifying the assailants. Sure. Both sides. Antifa assaults attendees at UC Berkeley's memorial for slain conservative leader Charlie Kirk. On November 10th, 2025, the far-left protesters, including Antifa members, clashed violently with attendees at Turning Point USA memorial event for assassinating founder Charlie Kirk outside UC Berkeley's venue in Free Speech Plaza, deploying flares, smoke grenades, and physical attacks that blocked the entry for thousands. Activist Jihad de Froles, faces assault and robbery charges after punching a conservative attendee repeatedly, stealing his cross necklace during the melee, which prompted 2 arrests and widespread panic from the pyrotechnics and hurled objects. The U.S. Department of Justice initiated a federal investigation into these potential hate crimes, civil rights violations, and UC Berkeley security failures involving the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. Not enough! Things only happen when they happen, bro. We gotta see mass arrests. We need to make people scared to be terrorists, all right? Instead of literally glorifying them. The audacity of calling jihad an activist. Insanity. Complete insanity. UC Berkeley has 7,300 foreigners on student visas. Pull them all, deport them all, simple. I completely agree. This is a area that is directly in cahoots with terrorists. Fucking obliterate them legally and get rid of them. Remove them all. We don't need to play this game. Why on earth does the federal government play volleyball with these people? Like, they literally want to kill you. So Pam Bondi says, Antifa is an existential threat to our nation. So why has nothing been done? You designated them as a terrorist organization a month ago. The violent riots at UC Berkeley last night are under full investigation by the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. We continue to spare no expense unmasking all those who commit orchestrated acts of political violence. If Antifa is a terrorist organization, then you shouldn't only be going after the people that are committing acts of violence. If they are an actual terrorist organization, every single person that is part of the terrorist organization needs to be arrested. It doesn't matter if you specifically catch an individual as committing an act of violence. You need to make people scared to be terrorists instead of make them proud to be terrorists. Under President Trump's leadership and pursuant to his executive order designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, the Department of Justice law enforcement partners are dismantling violent networks that seek to intimidate Americans and suppress free expression and First Amendment rights. Not enough. It's not enough. With all due respect. Trump, you're not nearly draconian enough. Your organization is not nearly brutal enough. I'm sorry. You're not, they call you a fascist for what you're doing? You're not being nearly fascist enough. This is crazy. It's absolutely diabolical. It's diabolical watching people spin their wheels talking about doing things instead of actually doing them. And then they come up with 2 months later and like, we actually arrested 6 people that were violent in the past. No. Wide net. You need to start absolutely obliterating these organizations completely. All right? You have a terrorist organization that is literally collaborating with a college administration. The entire college administration needs to be obliterated. The federal funding needs to be 100% pulled immediately. These people that are parts of terrorist organizations needs to get obliterated. I have faith that Trump is still gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat. You know, I really do. But it's dwindling. I really want to see it happen. All right? And the Democrats, they're doing everything in their possible abilities to shut down the government and to push fake Epstein shit like they did with the fake emails that they just released with the redacted victim that I just covered in my previous video. And they are doing everything that they possibly can to push this unfathomable amount of bullshit. All right? Literally, to obfuscate from the fact that Trump needs to get up, put his foot down, and obliterate these organizations. Again, I have faith that Trump is still gonna do something crazy. I think that he's basically spending his first year undoing Biden mistakes, closing the border, and trying to make peace and friends with countries around the world. But I am praying that the next 3 years he focuses on America and wipes this shit out, obliterates this scourge that is a terrorist organization flooding our streets. I really hope so. And I think J.D. Vance, for the record, would be much more intense about this because I think he is in tune with the youth. I think to some extent, especially since Charlie Kirk was killed, Trump has kind of not been on the same page as the youth. I don't know where he gets his news. I don't even know what he's covering. I think dude needs to cook immensely. He needs to cook a lot. He has a lot to do. It's wild. Come on, Trump. We want to make America great again. Come on, we're trying. We're really trying. And for the record, if Israel actually controlled America and the Mossad secretly was running America, I could guarantee you there would not be a guy named Jihad beating up random Christians. I'm just saying. Anyway, UC Berkeley is just churning out radical Islamists. It's not a college, it's an Islamic jihad training camp. I don't even think that's inaccurate. Now, you have to see what happened. This is the officer, Yoganda Pittman. This is the one that is in charge of UC Berkeley, all right? This Yoganda Pittman character over here. Now, you might recognize her because she was the one that helped with the January 6th situation. She gets a high-paying chief of police job as a reward in UC Berkeley for covering up the January 6th shit, which was one of the biggest hoaxes in American history. So they literally take this lady who basically works with Biden and the Biden administration to prosecute and arrest as many of the people that were part of January 6th as possible, literally strip them of their constitutional rights and throw them in a dark hole for 4 years. And then she gets a chief of police job as a reward at UC Berkeley, where they're churning out radical retards. Did Trump not pardon them? Yeah, he did, but she still has her job and at UC Berkeley. Obviously, they don't care. $1 billion a year of our tax dollars go to UC Berkeley. Unbelievable, truly unfathomable, unreal. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's like, this is worse than the foreign aid that goes to Argentina or Israel or Ukraine. All right, it really is. Because that stuff, look, at least it's going to like an ally. All right, I don't like foreign funding. I want to make this clear. I do not want to fund foreign countries. Okay, but at least it's going to an ally. This is literally going to a terrorist organization inside of our country. So this is crazy. Oh my God. MAGA was never designated a terrorist group, yet they were treated like one, with FBI SWAT raids of peaceful protesters and thousands of subpoenas. Antifa is designated a terrorist group, yet there's no SWAT raids, and they continue to orchestrate flagrant violence. Where is the equal justice? Where is the equal justice? We all want to know. If Antifa is designated as a terrorist organization, how come none of the Antifa terrorists rioting in California and those who engage in violence at a Turning Point USA event have been arrested and charged with terrorist threats? There is zero enforcement of President Trump's agenda happening right now. How come Al-Fani thugs are flying around on Air Force One and the Muslim Brotherhood hasn't been designated as a terrorist organization? Are we ever going to see an actual crackdown on political violence and terrorism in America? Why am I supposed to give shit as an American about the Qatari royal family and an ISIS terrorist? Our country would be better if the Qatari royal family and Giuliani were cut off from the Trump admin. Aligning with jihadists is bad for our country. I wasn't expecting to have to say this. And that's something that I was kind of thinking about a little bit too. It's getting a little bit scary at how chummy Trump is with radical Islamists. I'll be real. While, you know, we elect one in New York, all right, New York City now is a radical Islamist mayor, or a mayor-elect. You have places like UC Berkeley churning this shit out with basically zero repercussions. You have every single, like, and I want to make peace with our enemies, all right? You don't make peace with friends, you make peace with enemies. So I'm all for Trump making peace with enemies. But it seems like there's a lot of friendly shit going on. You know, Qatar buys a $1 billion plane for America, opens an air base in America. Like, I mean, I know they have endless money, but this is getting actually scary. Now, this is wild. I saw this stat and I was losing my mind.
Well, you're aware of the ChenV, the parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. As I said, we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught. It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and no action was taken. I'm glad.
Yeah, obviously not, because the whole plan was literally importing an entire underclass of society to vote for you forever. They tried to steal the country under the last administration. But here we are, 50% of Islamic migrants. Minnesota committed immigration fraud. That's a crazy statistic. That's a crazy statistic. We should be deporting all these guys. Like, we should be deporting all of these guys. Oh my God, dude. Bro. Listen, man, we are Western civilization. We are founded on biblical values. The Bible believed in justice. It did. All right, you could not scam that. All right, this is Dearborn, Michigan, for those of you that are unaware. All these people have citizenship. 50% of them have illegal citizenship. Yeah, so this is Dearborn, Michigan, for the record. And also, you'd be curious to know, 50% of these apparently committed immigration fraud. And none of us are doing anything about it, though, obviously, because obviously not. Now, this is Minneapolis. This is in multiple cities. This is news, the actual news in Minnesota. The news is in Somalian. This is Somalian news in Minnesota.
Yeah,
nothing to see here. Nothing to see here at all, actually. This is a crazy situation that just happened in New York. Now, New York City, as we all know, was recently elected a radical Islamist, communist, as the mayor. So here's just a guy raping a woman in public, and no one's doing anything about it. This is literally in the middle of Manhattan. All right, and then dude yells at her, obviously, and no one does anything about it. They filmed it, but they didn't do anything about it. So, breaking, man attempted to rape 25-year-old at 11 Saturday on the 63 Lexington platform in Manhattan. Bystanders recorded. Suspect ran away. No one did anything. So this literally happened in America, in Manhattan. That's right. That's Mamdani's Manhattan, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is insane. I still don't understand how people saw this man actively trying to rape this woman and did nothing but record. That's because the heroes go to jail. Yeah, the heroes go to jail. That's why. It's because if someone actually decided to fight back, they would be labeled as Islamophobic and go to jail. And we've all been there. We've all been there. Absolutely diabolical. So anyway, this is another interesting situation that's happening apparently in New York City.
Violate a lady, but you do that again, and I'll fuck you up. You feel me? I will you up. Bitch, what you talking about? I'm sitting there, none of that violate your shit. What is you talking about? Don't push me. Don't push me. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Knock you. Stop jumping, bitch. You're so lucky. Go to my set, you lucky out here, female. Find that bag. Do that, bitch.
Yeah, so anyway, it almost seems like this is not very nice. Now, so this guy, crime in New York City, says, sorry ladies, you're on your own, welcome to the jungle. This obviously ruffled a lot of feathers on Twitter. So here you have liberal from Canada. That's how you know you're a liberal from Canada. That's how you know it's retarded. Men be like, oh, you think men are dangerous? Guess men won't protect you from all the dangerous psychotic men out there and think they're owning you. This has 1.6 million views and 160,000 likes. Now, this is actually really funny. Really funny. Because that is not the point at all. The sorry ladies, you're on your own is honestly, it's because women voted to import all these people, to be honest. Women voted to import all these people. And also, the heroes get prosecuted. That's right. This is Daniel Penny, who also on a New York subway fought back against the guy for attacking someone, and he killed him in self-defense. And his life was ruined. His life was straight up ruined by this event actually taking place. So to make it clear, that is exactly why. Sorry, ladies, you're on your own. Not trying to hate. All right, not trying to hate on you or anything. All right. Like, men be like, oh, you think men are dangerous? Guess men won't protect you. Well, this guy is being harassed by women because he defended himself. That's right. It's because the radical left, the women, the liberal women, are the ones voting for importing minorities and importing people from cultures that are not the same and are inferior to ours. That's right, because believe it or not, rape was legal in Somalia 5 years ago. So if you import 1 million Somalians, you're going to have more rape. All right, so they vote for the immigration shit. All right, they vote to immigrate, for all these people to immigrate into America. That's one. Two, they are the ones voting for the leftist anti-gun policies that literally don't want any of this. Three, they are the ones that are literally constantly voting about how all men bad. So when you have, this is a very popular sentiment. Sorry, ladies, you're on your own. Welcome to the jungle is a very popular sentiment. Why should a man risk their life for a woman who, quite frankly, voted for this exact situation to happen? I don't agree with this stance. I believe that a real man makes sacrifices. And despite the fact that she is retarded, possibly, statistically, potentially, it doesn't matter. And I think that you need to do what's right in a vacuum anyway. So I personally, I personally am not a fan of this. All right? I'm not. I don't agree with this sentiment. But that's why this sentiment exists. It's because the large majority of white women that are liberal, that are voting for all these policies that is causing them all this trouble, and then they cry that men are evil for not jumping out of their way to protect them. With all due respect, you voted for equality. You were the one that voted for this fake equality. And that's where my empathy is right now. That's where my empathy's at. Obviously, if I was there, I would do my best to step in and protect you. But that's because I'm an exceptionally good guy. And no, it's not because I think you deserve it. It's just because I think it's the right thing. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. There is a hostile takeover in our country happening, and not enough is being done. Trump, they're calling you a fascist. Be what they fear.
Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there.
Stay weird, fam.